we're back. Hello and welcome. It's 10:30. It's the 19th day of August 2022. Me and my piece of crap camera on the piece of crap computer. It's 63 degrees and sunny. There's a lot of gardening and construction going on here, along with a kitten running behind me. So if there's noise in the background, I apologize. We'll try and see how much we can get accomplished with all this noise going on. So we're going to start our look at this. This is the Character Origins Playtest Volume 1 First Edition printing as of it appeared yesterday on Wizards of the Coast D&D Beyond. This is the beginning of the new rules that will eventually be whatever we get in 2024. Take anything here with a grain of salt because A, Wizards of the Coast lies, B, Wizards of the Coast doesn't listen to anything the players say, and C, they're going to change it anyways. As for the backwards compatible, we're already going to see it's not. It is separate. I mean, it's a completely different thingy. So if I look at this as D&D, I'm going to be like, wait, what? If I'm looking at this as a completely separate entity, then I'll be like, oh, okay. I can see where you're going here. All right, so noticeably missing from this is classes or professions or whatever they're going to call them, and how we roll stats. This just includes races. They're still calling them races. I thought we were done with that. Backgrounds, starting languages, feats, and rules glossaries. Complaints I've already heard. Why does every background give you a language? Well, because being a member of a race used to give you a language or two. People complained about that. So now the backgrounds give you a language, and people are complaining about that. So, I don't know, should just language choice be completely separate? Just everybody gets to pick two, pick whatever two you want? Probably would be the best way to resolve this. Why would being a brick mason teach me a language? I'm not sure. I mean, if I grew up in Italy only hearing Italian, then it would make sense that I speak Italian. Now, if I'm Italian and I grew up in Canada only speaking French, then yeah, I would know French. But still, I mean, I don't understand why people think races shouldn't have innate languages that you learn growing up. And why do the backgrounds have languages now? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the thinking of that is, but that's where the languages are. They'll probably be moved. You know, it'll probably just be like at the end of character creation to choose languages or whatever. Then we've got size. Okay, so they're still sticking with the you can be whatever size you want. You can be small or medium. If you want to be a 6'2" halfling, you can. If you want to be a 3 foot tall human, you can. We've got speed. Oh no, that he can go faster than I can. He has more movement than I can. That's not fair. That'll be gone. Everybody's going to be able to go the exact same. We have lifespan. All right, so we know that previously they had changed lifespan to everybody lives exactly the same amount of time, but I guess they're changing it back. Special traits. Each race provides a special traits. Remember, we're all the same. There's no difference between one race and the other, except, of course, each race is different, and some definitely have way more abilities than the others. There's definitely a preference for certain races in this. Then we have the background traits. So I guess at the end, once you pick your race, then you pick your background. Then you pick your class, or I don't know, maybe classes are gone. So each class gives you an ability score bonus. So remember how each race gave you an ability score bonus based upon the race. Humans get +1 to everything. Dwarves get +2 here, you know, and then the blood, whatever. Then they got rid of that. After Tasha, it was any race can put the bonus anywhere they want. If you want to be a dwarf who's got +2 in dexterity, fine. Now you can. But now they're changing that again. Now they're saying your race doesn't give you a stat bonus whatsoever. Now your background does. So because I grew up as a brick mason, I get +2 to my intelligence. Why? Going to school does not necessarily make me smarter. It just makes me be able to understand the things I've learned better. Now, I could say, yes, being a professional athlete would lead me to be physically stronger. Being a professional runner would lead me to be, healthier. So I guess I could see some logic in that, but not, especially when they changed it to put the +2 wherever you want. It should have nothing to do with your race. Now they're changing it again. Races get no stat bonuses. Now your backgrounds give you the stat bonuses. So everything we just said, pointless. Moving forward, we've changed it. Not backwards compatible. So if you want that +2 in Dex, you got to take a background that gives you +2 in Dex. What if I don't want that background but still want the +2 to Dex? Well, until we change it again, you can't. Now remember, this is just playtest, and I'm sure that's one of the second things that's going to go. You get some skill proficiencies from your background. Makes sense to me. You get some tool proficiencies from your background. Makes sense to me. Well, you maybe finally explain what we can actually do with our tool proficiencies, because I still don't know. Wizards of the Coast, maybe. You get a language with your background. Makes no sense. All backgrounds now come with a free feat. Okay, yeah, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't know why you would add that in, but okay. Unless you're going towards more of a feat-based build similar to, I don't know, 4th edition or Pathfinder 2E or GURPS. And then your background gives you some free equipment that you stole, I guess. I don't know. I mean, sure, when I worked as, a retail clerk, I had equipment that I took home with me. I mean, I had my uniform, and I would always have like a pocket full of pins and stuff that I accidentally took from work. So I guess that justifies why I just quit my job as a stonemason, and for some reason they let me walk off with a hammer. Okay. Race and background together help bring your character's backstory into focus. We've seen backstories getting a lot of shit for some reason. Again, I'm sure we'll do another vlog about backstory. Character races. We're still calling them races. I thought we weren't calling them races anymore because calling them races is racist, but now we are. Human. So for your human traits, you can choose to be medium or small. Your base speed is 30 feet. Average lifespan is 80 years. As a human, you have the following special traits. Resourceful. You gain inspiration whenever you finish a long rest. When was the last time anybody ever used that mechanic other than a bard? I think in the entire time I have played Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, I have never seen any game master award inspiration. Never. And I've played with multiple game masters at multiple tables in the past 8 years. Not once has any DM said you get a point of inspiration. I don't think most people don't even know what the fuck that is. But now humans have it as an ability. You gain inspiration whenever you finish a long rest. So you can use it, then you have to rest, then you can use it again. Inspiration, in case you don't know, gives you a die that you could add to one roll. I think it's a D6. Skillful. You gain proficiency in one skill of your choice. Okay, sure, whatever. Versatile. You gain the skill feat or another first level feat of your choice. So basically you get to pick a feat at first level. Feats are going to be divided by levels, I guess. Similar to, I don't know, Pathfinder 2nd edition, 4th edition, or other games that do that. Level up 5e. All in all, okay. The inspiration ability, utterly pointless. Once per day, I can add a d6 to one roll that might change the outcome. Dumb. Gaining a free proficiency, yes. Gaining the skilled feat, which lets me take more proficiencies, or any other first level feat. Sure, why not? Then we have the Ardeling. Ardeling are basically angels. I know we already had angels. They were called Asimir, but apparently they've been replaced with Ardeling. What's the difference between our previous angelic races and our current angelic races? Well, if you play an Ardeling, you get to have the head of an animal and a body vaguely like that animal. So basically you're a furry. You're an anthropomorphic animal. All right, there's 3 types of birthrights for being an Ardeling. Exalted, heavenly, or ideal. Ardeling traits. You're a humanoid. Size, you can be short or medium. Speed, 30 feet. Your lifespan is 200 years. Oh, already you live longer than humans, but that's okay. As an Ardeling, you get to fly for free at first level. You get to spout a pair of wings. Your movement speed equals your ground speed, and you can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and then you regain the uses when you finish a long rest. This is a change we saw them do in Monsters. This is one of the things I really liked. I was hoping they'd do it with player characters. So you start with a proficiency bonus at first level of +2, unless they change it. So that means I can use my wings twice. I can use it as a bonus action, but once they're out, and you can only use it for one round. So as a bonus action, I can sprout my wings, I can fly 30 feet, and at the end of that, I fall to the ground. So, and then I can use that twice before the next rest. It's not horribly broken. Legacy. This is where we see the reverse racism that people are complaining about. How non-human races are better than human, and while there's no reason to play human. So if you take the exalted races, first you basically can choose to look like a humanoid cat, humanoid eagle, humanoid goat, or humanoid mule. In addition to the wings, you get to choose one of these spells for free. If you're an exalted, you get Thaumaturgy or Prestidigitation. At 3rd level, you get Divine Favor, and at 5th level, you get Lesser Restoration. How often can you use these spells? You can use it once, and then you cannot use it again until the long rest. So at 1st level, you get a free spell, in addition to wings. Whether you're a spellcaster or not, you're going to get Thaumaturgy or Prestidigitation. Okay? Your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma is your spellcasting ability. Choose whichever one's highest. And then you also get damage resistance to radiant damage. If I choose the heavenly, my body is either going to be humanoid elephant, humanoid owl, humanoid pig, or humanoid stork. I get light for free at 1st level. Light, I get at 3rd level, I get cure wounds, and at 5th level, I get zone of truth, and I get damage resistance against radiant damage. If I take the idyllic legacy, I can either be a humanoid bear, a humanoid dog, a humanoid raven, or a humanoid toad. At 1st level, I get the guidance that I can use once per long rest. At 3rd level, I get healing word, and at 5th level, I get animal messenger, and again, I get the resistance to radiant damage. How often has anybody ever been hurt by radiant damage? I have never run into a monster that does radiant damage to player characters. But I guess now it's a thing. Alright, so is this better than being a human? I get a free spell that I can use once at 1st level. And wings? Yes. And I can be a humanoid eagle, goat, or pig. Is that racist? No, it's just saying they prefer you. Nobody wants to play humans. At least that's what they think. So they're going to make the other races more appealing than humans. Is that racist against humans? Maybe. Is that racist against white people? I don't know. Is that pushing some woke leftist communist agenda? I don't know. Why are Aasimir gone? Or is Aasimir still going to be around? So you can be an Aasimir and be a humanoid angel, or you can be an Ardeling and be a bear angel. Dragonborn are still around. You're still humanoid. You don't get the choice of height, though. You're only guessed to be medium. Your speed is 30 feet, and your lifespan is 80 years. How come the other races get to choose their height and I don't? What if I want to be a small Dragonborn so I can say my character's a gecko? Fine, we'll just say you can be a gecko. I don't know. I don't know why they let that. Okay, same thing. You get the Dragonborn pretty much the same. Depending upon your ancestry, you get a breath weapon. The breath weapon is 1d10 plus your character level and damage, and you can use the breath weapon a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. So at 1st level, your breath weapon is going to do a d10 plus 1, and you can use it twice. At 5th level, your breath weapon is going to be a d10 plus 5, and you can use it 3 times. You have the damage resistance equal to your draconic ancestry type. So if you're a gold dragon, you get damage resistance to fire. That hasn't changed. Dark vision. I don't think they used to have dark vision, didn't they? So they gave him dark vision. Oh, well. I think a lot of people argued they should have had dark vision, so that's probably why. And you instinctively know how to read, write, and speak Draconic. Pretty much the same, except no stat bonuses. Dwarf! Dwarf's back. Dwarf's a humanoid. You can only be medium. There are no short dwarfs. Sorry. Speed is 30 feet tall. 30 feet. Lifespan, 350 years. As a dwarf, you get dark vision 60 feet. You get Dwarven Resilience. You have resistance against poison damage, and you have advantage on saving throws to make or avoid or end the poison condition. You get the Dwarven Toughness. Your hit point maximum increases by 1. It increases by 1 again whenever you gain a level. So at first level as a dwarf, you have 1 more hit point than everybody else. And every time you level, you get an extra hit point. Add that with Toughness. Yeah, that's broken. Forge-wise. You have an uncanny affinity for working with stone or metal. You gain a tool proficiency with 2 of the following options. Jeweler's tools, mason tools, smith tools, or tinker's tools. So 2 free skills in addition to the skills that your background gives you. So if you're clever, you're going to pick a background that adds to those skills. Stone Cunning. As a bonus action, you get Thermosense. Range 60 feet for 10 minutes. You must be on a stone surface or touching such a surface. You can use this as a bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. So for 10 minutes, I have Thermosense. Remember what Stone Cunning used to give you? I knew the history of the stone. And before that, I could detect sloping passages in the stone. But now, Stone Cunning, I have Thermosense. I have radar. I can't be surprised for 10 minutes if I'm touching stone or near stone. Or if I just carry a stone with me and hold it, 10 minutes of Thermosense. That's longer than the wings. Why would I play anything other than a dwarf? Elves. So there are 3 elven lineages. Drow, High Elf, and Wood Elf. Elves are medium. You can't be small. Basic land speed 30 feet. And average lifespan is 750 years. So gone is everybody lives exactly the same. Gone is you can be whatever height you want it to be. Everybody has the same speed. We know people are going to complain about the size because there's going to be somebody who says, I want to be a small elf. So you get darkness of 60 feet. You get the elven lineage. You get the Fey ancestry advantage on saving throws to make or end versus charm. You get proficiency, profession, and perception. And we still have the you don't need to sleep bullshit. You're immune to sleep, and you're immune to magic sleep. Remember, that's magic sleep. You can still be put to sleep by poison. Drow lineage. Your darkness increases to 120 feet. You know the dancing light cantrip at first level. At 3rd level, you get fairy fire, and 5th level, you get darkness. Pretty much what they already get. High Elf. You know the prestidigitation cantrip, but you can switch it to any other cantrip anytime you take a long rest. So you can still have the booming blade, backstab, or whatever. Basically, every time you rest, you get to change out your free cantrip, and you can use that as many times as you want during the day. At 3rd level, you get Detect Magic, and at 5th level, you get Misty Step. Why would I be anything other than a High Elf? Wood Elf, you get an increase to your speed of 5 feet, and you get the Druidcraft cantrip, which is basically prestidigitation, but for druids, so nature-y. You get Longstrider at 3rd level, which lets you go run faster, and at 5th level, you get Pass Without Trace, because reasons. Gnomes. Gnomes are humanoid. They're small, so no tall gnomes. Sorry, I guess those dreams of the gnomish basketball team have been slammed. Speed 30 feet, lifespan 425 years. As a gnome, you have dark vision. You have the gnomish cunning still. You have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. Why would I ever play anything other than a gnome? Add to that the resilient feat. Yeah. And there's 3 lineages. Okay, so you can choose the forest lineage, the rock gnome lineage, or I guess there's only 2. So forest gnome, you get the minor illusion cantrip, and you can also cast Speak with Animals. You can cast Speak with Animals a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. And if you have spell slots, you can also use those to cast it. As a rock gnome, you get Mending and Prestidigitation cantrips. You can spend 10 minutes casting Prestidigitation to create a teeny clockwork device. So they still have the ability to create the clockwork devices. You have to have the gear, though. You have to have 10 gold pieces worth of raw materials. It's when you create the device, its function is equal to Prestidigitation. So you have to pick one of the things that Prestidigitation can do. So you can have a wind-up squirrel that runs up and changes the flavor of somebody's food or something like that. You can have 3 such diseases in existence at a time, and blah, 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 blah. Pretty much the same as before. Halflings. Halflings are humanoid. They're small. There goes my dreams of a 6-foot halfling. Base land speed is 30 feet. Lifespan 150 years. Brave. You still get advantage on saving throws against fear. Halfling Nimbless, you can move through the space of any creature that is a size larger. Same. Luck, when you roll a 1 on a d20 test, you can re-roll the dice and you must use the new roll. No limit to how many times you can do that. Naturally stealthy, you have proficiency in the stealth skills. Okay, definitely luck is still broken, but not, unless we would also take the other luck things. It's, it's broken. But it's always been broken. So halflings haven't changed. There's no real reason to take halflings other than unless you want to be immune to fear and you want the luck thing. Orcs. Half orcs and half elves are gone for now. Now orc is a player character race instead of half orc. But since they don't get any innate bonuses to strength or constitution, you can be an orc without worrying about the whole strength thing. Orcs are humanoid, medium, base 30 speed, you only live 80 years. Adrenaline rush. Okay, there's already been some complaints about this. How come orcs get adrenaline rush? Why do all orcs have adrenaline? Why can't there be orcs that don't have that? I don't know. They probably won't. They'll probably make it an option if enough of you complain about it, but I don't see why there's anything to complain about. You take a dash action as a bonus action. When you do so, you gain a number of temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all. All right, so you can dash, so you can take which basically is run. And while you're running, you get temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. At first level, that's 2. You get 2 extra hit points. So I guess you run into combat, you get the 2 extra hit points so you can attack or whatever. I don't understand how running gets you extra hit points, but okay. You get dark vision, and you have the powerful build still, where you count as 1 slide larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. How come they get that and dwarves don't? And we have Relentless Endurance still. When you're reduced to 0 hit points, but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 hit point instead. Once you use this trait, you cannot use it again until you finish. Not killed outright. Well, we know it's impossible to die in 5e, but you can go to 0. That's, happened to me a couple times in the 5e game I'm in. So now it's pretty much the same. Orcs seem pretty much the same as they were before. No real changes. People are going to complain about the adrenaline rush for some reason, and people are going to complain about the powerful build for some reason. I don't know why. Tiefling. Tieflings are still a thing. We know that's because everybody wants to be a sexy half-demon. But half-elves and half-orcs are gone. Tiefling. There are 3 lineages. Abyssal, Chthonic, or Infernal. Chthonic, i.e. Lovecraftian. You are a humanoid. You can be medium or small. So these guys still get the thing. You get Dark Division, 60 feet. You get the Otherworldly Presence, which is the Thaumaga Tree cantrip. And then you also have Fiendish Legacies. We have Abyssal, Chthonic, and Infernal. The Abyssal Legacy gives you resistance to poison damage. You know the Poison Spray cantrip. At 3rd level, you learn Ray of Sickness. At 5th level, you learn Hold Person. If you take the Lovecraftian, you have resistance to necrotic damage. You know Chill Touch. At 3rd level, you learn False Life. And at 5th level, you learn Ray of Enfeeblement. Don't worry, unless they've changed it, chill touch is still neither chill nor touch. I don't know why it's called that. And if you take the Infernal, you have resistance to fire damage. You know the Fire Bolt cantrip. At 3rd level, you get Hellish Rebuke. And at 5th level, you get Darkness. So, yes, it seems to be in your favor if you want some freebies to be one of these things with racial traits. So, is this reverse racism against humans? It definitely feels like they want you to be the more outlandish races. I mean, dwarves are awesome. Halflings, Elves are kind of awesome, but not as awesome as dwarves. The Tiefling, the Dragonborn, and the no longer called Aesmere get free spells and a whole bunch of free extra abilities. Not sure why half-elves and half-orcs are gone, but I assume they will be back because we know somebody's going to cry about not getting to be a half-orc or whatever, or not getting to be a half-dwarf. All right, so that is all the races. We will go over the backgrounds next time because I've already wasted 26 minutes of your time. What do you think? Anything you like? Anything you don't like? Is this backwards compatible with 5th edition? No, it's not. Is it? I don't know. You tell me. Is this racist? Is this forcing a communist woke manifesto on anybody? Or is it just a reimagining of the races, and some races are innately more powerful than others, but we know people are going to cry because they want all the races to be exactly the same and only be costumes that you put on. So I am going to assume all this will change because it does not in any way, shape, or form reflect what we saw in Tasha's and Xanthars and Strixhaven and Spelljammer. Instead, it presents a whole new paradigm that is completely different to how they changed it. So it is not backwards compatible. Unless, of course, they change it again. Which they will. Because if I'm a quote-unquote sparkle troll, the token example of finding everything wrong in this because I want everybody to be equal and I want to have whatever abilities I want to have, I'm going to look at this and go, I want to be a human, but why can't I be a human who also gets blank? Or why does that guy get the ability to breathe fire and I don't get the ability to breathe fire? That's unfair. That's racist. You're racist against me because you're saying I can't breathe fire, but that guy can. Everybody should have the choice to be able to breathe fire if they want or they don't want. So I'm sure this will all change. All right. It's going to look more and more like GURPS and less and or Pathfinder 2nd edition and less. Just, pick a height, pick whatever advantages you want, and call yourself whatever you want. Dwarves, elves, halflings, they'll be gone. Because people are going to say, it's unfair. How come he gets luck and I don't? How come he gets to be 6 feet and I don't? How come he can breathe fire and I don't? That's racist. That's favoritism. That's forcing your manifesto. Everybody should be the same. It should all be exactly the same. Nobody should have an ability that somebody else can't have, right? That's the complaint, right? That's what everybody's saying, along with D&D is too hard and D&D does not have enough options. Well, I don't know if this makes D&D harder or not. It definitely makes it different. Anything about D&D not having enough options, well, this shoots that right in the butt. And everybody being able to have the exact same thing, the bullshit they've been preaching since Tasha's, all the changes post-Tasha's are gone. They're introducing new changes that are not compatible with the changes that they made in Tasha. But that's okay, because this will be changed, I'm sure, between now and 2024, at least 5 times. Between D&D Next and D&D 5th, there were 3 rounds of playtesting. Each iteration looked completely different. So D&D Next, the first one we got, because I got it, looked like one thing. Then the second round looked completely different, okay? It's not like, we took what you said from the first playtest and we added it to make the second playtest more closer to what we think you want based upon the first playtest. No, there was nothing the same. It was completely different. And then the third playtest packet was completely different from the second playtest packet. And by the time you got 5th actually printed out and in your hands, and then you look at the D&D Next, they're worlds apart. They're separate games. And D&D Next was better. So this now, And whatever we're going to see in 2024, one D&D Player's Handbook will be completely different. So don't get too upset about any of this because it's going to change drastically. Anyways, that's 30 minutes of me talking about this nonsense. I hope you appreciate it. I do the work so you don't have to. I'm giving you the straight source before any of the other 5e idiot brigade takes this and messes it up and tries to make it into something it's not. Regarding the complaints about it being racist or forcing an agenda, is it? I'm not seeing it, but maybe it is. It definitely seems to want you to favor non-human races, and it definitely seems to favor certain non-human races over other non-human races, so I guess in a way that is racist. It's definitely saying this race is better than that race. So, yeah, I guess it is racist in a weird, roundabout, backwards way. As for forcing a political manifesto, the only thing it's forcing is that D&D isn't what you thought it was anymore. We've changed it. You don't like it? Oh well. That's the only thing it's forcing. This is what we think D&D players want. It'll be interesting to hear what the actual 5e players say. Not the D&D idiots like Jeannie D or Mark Holmes or those guys. No, the actual 5e players. It's going to be interesting to hear what they have to say about this over the coming weeks. Anyways, that's all the races. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Remember, if I hit 1,000 subs, I'll stop talking about Wizards of the Coast. Or will I? You won't know until I hit 1,000 subs. Please help me hit 1,000 subs. Till then, I need a soda. See ya!